Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint.com is now TradingCardMint.com. Please check out their selection of over 20,000 cards with prices cheaper than TCG Player. Alright, what is up YouTube? MCO40 here. Yes, this video has been brought to you by TradingCardMint.com, as you just saw in the introduction. I wanted to do an Altergeist discussion for you guys today, and quite possibly the future investment options of the deck as a Tier 1 deck. And before we get into that though, I wanted to showcase Trading Card Mint for you guys, because this discussion has been brought to you by them. That way you guys can figure out if you want to pick up the Altergeist core or not by looking at the prices. The Rocket deck is another one that I honestly think Duelist should have the potential to pick up. Altergeist Marionetters, $1.78. Moly-Seeks coming in at $1.78. Literally the entire deck is super cheap and invest worthy. Literally you can get the whole deck for $10 here, which is extremely nice considering the Link monster is $1.20. The Super's 34 cents. Definitely that, and also Crawlers, considering the entire archetype itself was very cheap and almost readily available to the entire community. You see here, Protocol is 29 cents. But what makes Altergeist really something that someone like me, granted we're knees deep in Spiral format, but what makes me think that the deck is going to get some sort of support that will put it over the edge, considering the deck is being played by one of the antagonists of the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, Vrains, for those of you that don't know. And honestly, just the deck itself and the interactions that are available in the pool of the 9 cards available, something's got to give somewhere along the way, especially since it's kind of got that Blackwing feel to it, you know, where they release the initial wave, and when you have broken effects already that this deck has, I wanted to go through here and give my opinion on the entire archetype for Altergeist, especially considering 9/10 of the deck is ultra rare. So, Marionetter, these all have some sort of interesting trigger effect that have to do with Altergeist trap cards. So Altergeist Marionetter, actually decent stats, 16, 17, level 4. When this card is normal summoned, you can set one Altergeist trap card directly from your deck into your spell and trap card zone. And then you can target one Altergeist you control and one Altergeist monster in your graveyard, and then you'll basically just switch them. And you can only use the effect of this once per turn. So you have a very decent statted monster acting as a potential gateway to set trap cards. Now, don't even get me started with what the trap cards do, but we'll get to that in a second here. Kunguri. This is the level 5. So when your opponent's monster declares an attack, if you have an Altergeist on the field, you get to special summon this from your hand, negate the attack, and then you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate the effect of that monster while it's face-up on the field. So here's the thing. Generally, looking at a monster like this, battle phase negation clauses that require you to typically have a monster established on the board, a lot of people would argue that this is probably one of the particular weaker things in this cluster of an archetype. But in a much slower format, depending on how things go, especially given much more support, this could be better, but considerably this is probably a 1 to 2 of. Moly-Seeks. So this thing can attack directly. It's 500, 300, level 1. We don't really care about that too much. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one card your opponent controls. You get to send it to the graveyard. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add an Altergeist monster from your deck to your hand. So you have literal instant spot removal at pretty much the cost of your battle phase. Granted, poking for 500, getting to spot removal something, and then when your opponent answers this, you can add an Altergeist. Also keep in mind that this will be triggered from linking out. So you have a Rhoda, you have the ability to normal summon and set trap cards, but there's still more. The Big Bird. So this is a quick effect. You can return one Altergeist card you control to your hand. Doesn't have to be a monster. Then target one card your opponent controls. You get to return it to the hand. And then, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one Altergeist trap card in the graveyard, add it to your hand. So, you have a bounce, and then you have the ability to bounce back something else of your opponent's. You now have attack removal, you have bounce removal, and you have trap recursion. Literally within 4 cards in the archetype. The first trap card, camouflage. So, this is not a continuous trap card, but that's fine. Target one Altergeist you control. Equip this card to it. Your opponent cannot target it for attacks, but it does not prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. So, if you have this on one of your Altergeists protecting it, your opponent can basically attack through it directly if you don't have another monster. Negate an opponent's monster effect that activates by targeting the equipped monster. So if your opponent would target the equipped monster, this will give you some sort of protection. And if Altergeist you control be destroyed by battle by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So, this gives you literal protection from being attacked. Gives you, actually, the return from the Dragon Lord's clause, which we all kind of know and love, but that's not the best part. And then you get to Altergeist Protocol. The activated effects of Altergeist cards on the field cannot be negated. Enjoy just being able to do whatever you want. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can send one Altergeist card you control to the graveyard to negate that activation, and if you do, destroy it. You can only use one protocol per turn. So here's the thing. We've typically seen decks that have effects like this actually be very, very powerful. I would almost consider betting that because they already have this card, just any other amount of monster, actually any better monsters that they have, can get them there. Now, this is not without saying, because they have this, that spell and trap card negation is out of the question, because it's not. They literally are getting more support as the sets go on. And then, of course, their big boss monster so far is Prime Banshee. It's just 2 Altergeists to make it. During your battle phase, or during the main phase, quick effect, contribute 1 Altergeist monster. Draw summon 1 Altergeist monster from your deck to the zone that this card points to. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Altergeist card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And of course, you can only use each effect of this once per turn. This is a Lone Fire Blossom, which literally spot removals out. Say you've got a Mullaseek and you want it off the field, so you'll trade it into this. This will trigger letting you search, or if you have this on the field and you want to get rid of this to get back a trap card, say your opponent outed your protocol, you can get them back. Granted, this is a Link 3, which might take a little bit heavy dedication to make, but here's the thing though. The reward that you're getting from this boss monster and what it's doing, and pretty much most of the deck is self-rewarding. You know, like I said, this gets back a trap card, this literally floats back into another monster, and then of course this sets a trap directly from the deck. You know, literally what the deck has so far, literally any more, and we'll start going into the tier 1 range. The 2 cards that are coming: Altergeist Materialization. Activate this card by targeting an Altergeist in your graveyard. You get special summon in attack position, and equip this card to it. When this card leaves the field, destroy the equipped monster. And you banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 Altergeist trap card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Whoo-wee! So, they gave the deck a Monster Reborn, and they gave you more recursion to get back protocol, putting you at even better of a scenario to make sure that you're going to be slowing down the game state. You know, once again, this revives any Altergeist, so if you want to bring back your big bad Prime Banshee, you can do it. But once again, we're 3 trap cards deep, 4 monsters, just more. And then of course the new Altergeist Hextia, it's just 2 Altergeists to make this thing. This card gains attack equal to the combined original attack of all Altergeist monsters this card points to. And then when a spell trap card or effect card is activated, quick effect, tribute an Altergeist card that this points to, negate that activation. If you do, destroy it. And if this card is sent from the field of the graveyard, you can add an Altergeist card from your deck to your hand. So for Link 2, I can tribute my Milliseek Rhoda for another card. And to top things off, I can tutor this out for another trap card. And then when my opponent does manage to out this, I can literally search for any Altergeist card that I want. You know, this is truly the making of probably one of the better archetypes that I've seen in a while. So it's off to such a great start. And I wanted you guys to be aware that, much like we knew Spirals were probably going to be good at some point, it literally just takes 1 to 2 more cards to put this deck over the top. I mean, I can only imagine what happens if this deck gets a Rhoda or something. Being able to set trap cards directly from the deck, being able to stop attacks, spot removal, answer removal on the opponent's turn, protection, more protection, literally Lone Fire Blossom, Monster Reborn, and negation. I don't know what more that this deck is missing to be good, but draw power, actual spell cards, is probably where we're going to start here. But guys, this video has been brought to you by our friends over at Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint, aka Trading Card Mint. Like I said, if you want to pick up your Altergeist stuff, they have it all available here as well for you guys. And of course, one of the things I want to point out, I mean, they had stuff like Borlo that was cheaper than TCG Player, which is very, very good, actually. And hell, even they have double helixes for cheaper than the current secondary market. So if you guys want to pick up some stuff, here's the tools. It's up to your decision if you want to believe me that in the future Altergeist could be a tier 1 deck. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Black Wings can do it. I don't understand why something with much less cards, much better support, can do, actually cannot do it. But they'll get there. I definitely won't believe. Alright guys, I'm out. Come on, Blue Shirt Squad. Throw me a like. Alright guys, deuces.